All right, everybody, so let's get going on this. This is number 1 of the 6 ficus clippings that I have propagated into what are now little ficus trees. So this is the first one we're gonna do here. And again, there's not much to show you on the roots. They're probably about, you know, the size of the piece of lead that goes through a pencil. That's about the size of the roots. They're really nothing special on this one. Some of them have, you know, pretty decent sized roots already. This one does not for some reason. There's quite a few roots, but they're not really that big. So nothing to really show you there. And this one is the only one of all of them that has, I'd say about a 6 or 7 inch trunk before it comes to a branch. And it's also kind of bent over and growing out that way. So I kind of thought to myself, I've never seen a cascading ficus tree. So why not make one, right? I have 5 other trees to do in a standard S shape, or if I want to do an upright umbrella shape, I have 5 more to do that with. So I think with this one, we're going to get kind of creative here, and we're going to actually turn this into some type of cascading or semi-cascading ficus tree. So I'm going to go ahead and start wiring it up and kind of deciding where I want to position these 2 branches, and we'll just go from there. We'll see what it looks like. So bear with me here. I'm going to get my wire, my cutters, and we'll change the way this thing looks. Okay, so today I'm going to be using 2mm wire. These are very flexible. It shouldn't have any issues holding this in place the way that I want to. Might have to do like a double wrap at the bottom, just if I want like a pretty drastic bend. But overall, it's very flexible. Stays. You can even bend it, and it kind of stays in the position that you just bent it to for a little while. So this should do just fine. Not worried about it. Worst case, I take it back off. I put some thicker wire on, but should work just fine. And you want about 1.5 times the length of the branch that you're trying to shape, or the whole tree in this case. Kind of a good way to estimate the wire so you don't waste too much of it, but I'm going to stick it down in the soil carefully by the roots and then hold it tightly and just start wrapping it around the trunk. Okay, so the wire's on. Now I need to take some time, look at the tree, and I need to decide if I am going to do a cascading tree. Do I want to have like a branch that kind of grows up into a tree on top of the cascading arm, or do I want it to be a full just cascading tree? So I'm going to start by bending this over, and I kind of want to do a cascading tree that kind of wraps back around the pot, not one that goes off to the side. So I'm going to bend it down and kind of around the front of the pot, and I might have to bend it back up if I don't like the way that these 2 branches are facing. Not that I'm going to keep both, I might get rid of one, but if I can save them both and use them in the design, great. If not, I'll cut one off. But again, going down around the front of the pot here, and then I can make up my mind what I want to do with the rest of the branches. Okay, so if you can see these big leaves here, what happens is, usually this happens on a lot of plants, is a leaf will grow out and then the branch bud will start growing right above it, and then you'll get the branch right above the huge leaf. So I'm actually going to go through, and any leaf that has a branch already coming out of it, I'm going to just clip that big leaf off. That's going to do a couple things. First off, it's going to get rid of these oversized leaves that really don't want on a bonsai tree anyways. And it's also gonna allow more of the energy to go into the branch, and we can ignore putting energy into these huge leaves. And it also is really gonna open up the shape of the tree and allow me to decide where I want to bend the branches. So that's what I'm gonna do now. You'll see me just going through the tree and clipping off any leaf that has a branch coming out of it. So. So I changed my mind. I don't think it looks as good wrapping around the tree as it does like this, where the branch goes around and then swoops down and out. But what I'm gonna be doing now is cutting off this branch right here, because it is a nice branch, but it's coming on the inside of a bend, and it's gonna come right in front of the main trunk, which is something we don't want. We wanna be able to expose that part of this tree. So this branch is coming off before I do any more wiring or shaping of this tree. All right, so I'm gonna try this 1mm wire and see if that's enough to actually hold these branches in place. If not, I'll unwind it and use a thicker wire, but these branches are very fragile right now, so I don't want to risk trying to wrap the 2mm wire and bending the branch a little too hard and cracking it. So I'm using this. I'll wrap it a little tighter, not tighter on the branch, but a little bit closer together than the normal like 45-degree angle of the wire. And that way I have more holding power with the wire itself. So I'm gonna do 2 branches with 1 piece of wire, and I'm gonna work my way down the tree. I think it's just gonna be 2 branches up here and 2 branches down here for now that I'm actually gonna wire. And then I'm gonna let this thing grow. I'm gonna actually leave it up here in the natural sunlight, not put it down in the tent until it kind of recovers from these cuts and these bends. So there you have it. That is the final product for now. So what I did was I bent the tree kind of back and almost in like an S shape, going down and then flowing out to your right, my left. But I left a few things alone. So I left this because I don't know what I 100% want to do up here. Do I want to have a branch coming up and out this way? Or do I want to just clip it off? But either way, I can just let it grow and clip it off later. So leaving that, there's actually a branch with a leaf here growing. I left this one back here for the same reason. I might want some depth out back of the tree eventually, but if I decide I don't, I can always clip it off in the future. I kind of bent this branch going upwards, this one kind of going towards the back and looping out that way. And this one comes a little bit more towards the camera and tips out towards the wall. And then there's a little branch down here at the bottom that I bent out back, and I actually left some of the wire because these little branches actually grow pretty quick. And I want to be able to continue to bend that the way I want it to go with the same piece of wire. So might look kind of trashy for now, but it does serve a purpose. That's why I left that. And in the bottom, it's going to be flexible for a very, very long time. So I just kind of swooped it out. For now, I might bend it down as the tree grows more. This is probably one of the only of the 5 trees that I'm going to be doing here, the 5 ficus trees, that I'm not going to clip the tip off. The other ones I am, because I want them to start branching back. This one, because it is going to be a cascading tree, I want to kind of see how it grows. I want to let it grow further down. I don't know how far down I want it to grow, but for now, I just want it to keep growing. So that's that. I mean, I think it looks a lot better than it did when I started, and it's got a lot of potential. I didn't do too terribly much to it, and it should recover no problem. Again, this is going to go in my living room on my tree stand for now, just so that it can recover. I'm not going to put any more trees that I adjust back into the grow tent for over a month, because I've learned from 2 trees now that if you wait a week or 2 and put them back in, the light intensity is just too much for them to handle until they've fully recovered. So this one's gonna go in the living room. All the other ones are gonna go in there too for now. But that's that. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Again, these are coming out very quickly in a series, so you should see the other ones either today or this week sometime. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.